Hey!
Hey, guys!
Look at that. We got it right on the very first time.
Wow, we did. So welcome back to Paw Talk.
There's always something.
We always have some sort of technical issue.
It's always the technology.
Oh my gosh.
It's. I don't know if you probably saw. Well, last week we had issues with the camera.
Yeah.
Great news. We still have issues with the camera.
The camera's not fixed. Great news there.
We may have to splurge and buy a new camera, so we have that. But that's okay. That's we make do with what we have, and luckily we have a good camera on the computer, so we're able to do that. We have a microphone. So welcome back to I'm very excited about Paw Talk. Every week I'm excited about Paw Talk, but this week I'm extra excited about Paw Talk.
More so. And why are you more excited about your Paw Talk this week?
Because we planned.
We actually do have some notes prepared.
Everything is better when...
Oh my goodness.
You know, at the beginning of every week, it's like clockwork. On Monday, we sit down and we have all these huge ideas for Paw Talk.
Yep.
Let's talk about this. Let's do some videos. Let's do a lot of different things. And just in animal rescue, there's so many things that you cannot plan.
Nothing ever goes as planned.
It just things happen.
Yeah.
And it's constant just animal rescue things. Saving animals, fielding phone calls, doing vouchers, donations, picking up dog poop in the yard,
Yeah.
stepping in it,
stepping in dog poop in the yard,
tracking it through the office, having to clean it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we are very excited about today's Paw Talk. So, welcome back, and why don't we go ahead and get started?
Sure. So it's been a busy week as always. I feel like we say that every week.
I think we just need to have a little thing that says
another
busy week.
Flash across the screen. We've done a lot. We've done lots of adoptions. We had an adoption event on a Wednesday this week, which was new, PetSmart Wednesday evening. And we actually had a few adopted, 2 kittens and a puppy, Churro. Our Churro was adopted. So that was fun. We had some changes here at the office. And there's Miss Churro. So hopefully she's in a wonderful home, which I'm sure she is. But we've had that going on. We've been prepping the office here again for the parade. So obviously Johnson City's parade was last week, and that was a lot of fun. So I've been planning. I've been treat bagging all week. I've been making little goodies and handouts and whatnot. We've been, as far as dogs, have we had any? We've got Mama Dog. Have we talked about Mama Dog?
No, why don't we jump right in?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to put a picture up here. We are super excited about this young lady.
Look at her. That's Miss Shay. And she's in our program temporarily. She's going to have her babies, and they're going to be weaned, and then she's going to, after being spayed, go back to her owner. And then, of course, we'll find wonderful homes for all of her puppies. The vet is estimating she's got at least 7, potentially more. So she's in great health right now. She's very friendly. She's a little on the timid side, but just overall a great dog. So we're looking forward to getting to watch her have her puppies.
Yeah, she is. She came in, I think, on Saturday, this past Saturday. And we've been just waiting. It's every day. We've got a special camera on her. We check on her probably literally every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It can be any moment now. And I think one of the greatest things about being in rescue is, when we have an opportunity to take care of a dog like this and go through the entire process, we're going to see this dog give birth. Obviously, we're for spay and neuter. That's obvious. That's a big part of our mission. There's just an overabundance of animals. So unfortunately, this dog was not spayed, and she is pregnant, but she's in a facility that we're going to make sure that the puppies are healthy, happy, and then adopted into great homes. One of the most exciting things is when that moment comes and, she goes into labor, and you can see the entire process of, just these
It's pretty great.
cute little babies watching from the outside of these maternal instincts that just kick in. It's it's automatic. I mean, an animal may never have ever had a baby before, but they know exactly what to
they
do.
always know what to do. Occasionally they'll need our help, but very rarely. It's
Very,
okay.
very rarely.
Yeah.
It's, I think, a lot of people think we got to jump right in and,
Yeah, we have to do everything.
do lights
Yeah,
and
no,
special gloves and
No, that's
and
never
music.
the case. Yeah, music.
Yeah. But 99% of the time, we sit back and let, nature work.
Just run
and,
its course.
And if there's any complications, then we're always there to intervene. But,
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful process. So we are very excited about Shay.
We are. We got Mr. Oscar back. I don't think we've talked about him either. He was originally adopted last year from the program and was just returned this past week. He had some issues in his home life. His owner's children had allergies, which is understandable. So he's back here with us, and he's a great dog. He's very, very big, and he is doing well with practicing walking on a leash. That was something when he came to us, he needed some work, but we've been practicing with that, and he actually is set for a trial adoption, I believe today. I had an email this morning about it, that he's supposed to have an adopted family, which would be wonderful for him. Just take a break, Cody. Why not?
Caffeinated. And I feel good. And that's one of the things we've had a couple dogs that have been returned in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
And again, no, not placing blame on anybody or any circumstance, but we wanted to just, I guess, talk about a couple best practices on what you should do when you adopt an animal from any shelter, any rescue from us, especially for an older dog when you bring them home. Puppies are a little bit more, they can adapt a little bit easier just because of the age, but the older dogs, there's some things that you really need to take in consideration when you bring a dog home. I think first and foremost is, I know everybody is so excited when you have a new addition to the family. You want to have people over to meet the animal. You want to, you just want to throw them in the
I know,
thick
it's
of
like
things.
you want a welcome home party almost.
Take them to the store and buy everything.
Buy all the stuff.
And you just really have to be considerate of that animal and understand that animal is in a new environment, and sometimes it doesn't always result in a positive outcome. They get overwhelmed. If you go home and you're inviting over 10 of your best family friends to come meet the dog
first thing,
it becomes overwhelming.
It is, and some of the things that we see as welcoming to a dog is not seen as that by them. They like their space, they like things to be more reserved, they like a calm, quiet environment. So having that family over is wonderful, but they need time to adjust. And, puppies are easier going than adult dogs in the sense that puppies, as long as you give them some attention, you feed them, they've got a warm place to sleep, they're fine. Adults, though, they're already set in their ways. They have a set routine that they're used to, and to break them from that and to bring them into a new home is just overall very scary for them.
Yeah. Diet is very important. We tell every adopter, I'm going to move this camera because that flickering light's bothering me.
It's even worse here.
There we go.
Is that better? Yeah.
Like hold background. Sticking to a diet of what the animal has eaten is very crucial. And if you are going to change, which people do change, make sure it's a gradual process. So most of the animals that we have here are on Nature's Recipe. And we always, send information about it, usually a little trial bag of the dry and a little wet food and instructions for what you feed them. But if you go home and you all of a sudden now start feeding it Purina Pro,
whatever you have at home,
there could be some again negative reactions to it. It
Yeah.
could be as simple as maybe just different bowel movements, maybe liquid stools, diarrhea, things like that, or it could be all of a sudden now this dog is guarding the food and becoming aggressive about this food because it may think, oh my gosh, they're changing the food on me. I need to start guarding it because I don't know where my next meal is going to be. You know,
Right.
dogs have personalities, and
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, we can't always tell what they're thinking until it's too late when they lash out and
Yeah.
snap. And
They just process things differently than humans and cats and, every other being.
um, if you have kids, you know, making sure that children understand limits with dogs.
Yeah, that's a big one.
You know, and again, puppies are a little bit more understanding just because, you know, it's a play type thing, but you know, the way that somebody plays with a puppy is going to set the stage for how it grows up. You know, if you know, rough play, if you're there and tossing the dog around and
Yeah.
you know, doing rough play and
Allowing the kids to climb on it, that's my biggest pet peeve. Pulling ears, pulling tails. You can't with children. You have to watch around puppies and even adult dogs, especially. Riding on a dog, I see that so often. People on social media will post pictures of their toddler climbing and riding on a dog's back. That is horrible for a dog. It is so bad for their spine. They cannot hold that weight. That is not okay in any way, shape, or form. It's not okay to pull their ear. It's not okay to poke them in the eye. It's just things that toddlers are curious and they're mesmerized by dogs and they want to be close to them, but they just don't understand. And as adults, it's our responsibility to make sure that they keep boundaries with dogs and understand that dogs deserve space and puppies too.
it is. But there's honestly a lot. There's a lot of things with it, and I know we have a very the person who's going to adopt from us. Certainly any questions you have about it during the process when you come and do the meet and greet, you can ask us. We'll be more than happy
Yeah.
to answer questions about it. And that's also the purpose for the meet and greet too. Is if you do have kids,
Yeah.
have that opportunity to bring them here to the building. If you do have other dogs, granted, it's just such a small amount of time, but at least it
Right.
kind of gives everybody an idea about reactions. But if you have any questions at all, you can always email me. We this is what we do, and we certainly have had a lot of examples that we can recall on, and a lot of different opportunities for options that we can
Yeah.
tell you about. And then here's also our website, and I believe there's still some informational items on the website.
Yeah, there's a lot of info
So-
regarding new adoptions and welcoming an animal into your home.
Great resources. That's also our phone number there, so that way you can, if you ever have any questions, just give us a call. You can ask for Cody or Haley or Anna Grace, and we'd be more than happy to answer questions about that.
Yep.
I was just writing a little note here. I think that would be great. Maybe next week we can talk about the various resources out there for people.
I think that'd be
Professional
really
resources.
good.
I think would be
Yeah,
good.
we have a lot of people that call in asking for training and our recommendations on training a dog or behavior with cats and whatnot. And so if we could find some resources to list for everyone, I think that would be very helpful.
Okay. So, let's talk a little bit about some of our past events. So, let's start with what I got here. I've got a whole list. Look, a plan.
You do. Look at
I
you. You have
planned. I was so
planned.
happy today.
Wow.
So let's talk about the Johnson
That's a good
City
place to
Parade.
start.
Oh my God. So, Johnson City Parade was amazing. We had our van out. We had decorated everything. We had someone dressed as a dog, my son. We had the reindeer here, and I had a lot of questions. Said, so it was a great parade. We had a lot of interactions, a lot of hugs with the reindeer. I'll tell you that. A lot of people wanted reindeer attention.
Gosh.
I was the reindeer. I would walk by and I hear Rudolph, come over here.
The amount of times I would look around and Rudolph would be out hugging someone.
A lot of
Like, where's Rudolph?
lot of Rudolph.
We're behind, and he'd be hugging
A
someone.
lot of Rudolph hugs. A couple dog hugs. My son
Yeah.
got a couple hugs, but he's, and high fives, but a lot of Rudolph. So
Yeah.
so a lot of questions about why is Rudolph wearing a purse? And so I had done something on the Facebook, asking who was the Rudolph, thinking that the purse would throw people off. So, anyways, so here's my answer about the purse. When I put on the suit the first time, now granted, I walked in the parade. I was panicking because I couldn't get to my car keys, my phone, and my business cards.
Yes, most importantly, those business cards.
It's like a onesie that zips in the back.
Gosh.
And I kept thinking, oh my gosh, if I need to go somewhere, I don't know, all this irrational thinking.
Of course.
If I need to hand out a business card.
I can't whip out my business card.
If, there's an animal emergency, I need, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Just my irrational thinking. So I found this very nice cross bag purse.
Yeah. A satchel, if you will.
Satchel. And I thought,
Yep.
this will solve all my problems. And then
No.
I'll be like a Rudolph / Wookiee.
With a yeah.
Walking through
bag.
through the parade. So
Okay.
So-
no one really questioned it during the
I know.
parade, though.
During
It was
the
just
parade.
kind of.
And no one,
Yeah.
But I saw on the video, WJHL was live. They did a live broadcast, and I was watching it later, and I thought, "Oh my God, I just look weird."
I look a little odd with my purse.
It just doesn't look right when I'm walking through the parade wearing a satchel. But
It's okay.
anyways,
It was functional.
yes, that explains that. But it was a lot of fun. It was, I think now that everything is getting back to normal, it was just a great presence.
It was fun.
It's just nice to see things going back to the way they were, and it was an amazing
Was there even
presence.
a parade last year with COVID?
I don't think
I
there was
didn't
a
think
parade.
there
I
was
think they
either.
canceled
No.
it. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then, so Haley, myself, Anna Grace, Aiden, we all did the parade. We got there at
Early.
some early
We
time.
got there really early.
That's, I love doing events, but there's always the setup time or arrival time, and then there's always the breakdown and ending
Right.
time.
So we have to factor that in between. I think we got 8 o'clock, 8 something. So when we got started, it was an early morning.
All I know is I had the Rudolph head on too early, and then someone's like, "It's going to be in an hour." Like,
Rudolph, you need to wait a little
I will
while.
remove the Rudolph so I don't have to
You need to wait a
and
bit.
take off my little cross purse.
Yeah.
So what did we do after?
Yeah, we need to mention too. We lost some of our decorations on the
Yeah.
way to the parade. So we tried to plan everything in advance to where we could all sleep in as much as possible. We thought, yeah, we're going to decorate the van the day before. So we had this big bow that Anna Grace had gone to the trouble of making. We had that on top. We had some wreaths. We had stockings that we put on the doors. Well, by the time we even got to the parade lineup, we had lost our bow from the top. We had an inflatable that we were going to use inside the van, and the generator with that didn't inflate the inflatable, so that was a no-go. Our garland had fallen inside. We lost, hi Buttercup, we had lost a stocking. Get your butt out of the camera, Buttercup. We had lost a stocking. What else had happened? It was a mess.
It was a mess, but again, we're animal rescue professionals.
Yes,
Not-
and we are
not
we are not
parade.
pro
Oh,
decorators
you gotta stay away
here.
from the mic.
Come here, Buttercup.
But you know what? It's okay because we had a good time.
We did. We had fun. And we took Ellie, three-legged Ellie.
Oh yeah, we did take Ellie. I
Yeah,
forgot
she
about
went. She did great. She got tired a little bit there with her walking, and we put her in the van, and she was a big hit. She rode in the side with me there for a while, and then we moved her up front, and she rode in the passenger seat, and she had a blast.
Mm-hmm.
She did really good.
And so what did we do after that? So I thought, you're all thinking, oh my gosh, they probably went home and relaxed. It was
Yeah.
been a long day. It's certainly a long work week in rescue.
Yeah.
No, what did we do?
No, we did not. We came back to the office.
What?
And then we unloaded there, jumped back in, went to Jonesboro for Doggone Days, which was a Christmas event held there in Jonesboro for dogs. We did photos with Santa. We had a that's nice. We had a dog costume contest. We had all kinds of handouts. The stores there were giving treats to dogs. It was super fun. So we sat up there for a few hours, and it was just a whole day devoted to dog
It
stuff.
was. So my son was the dog costume
Yeah.
in the morning parade, and so I'd made a deal because it is very hot and clunky, and he's 13, so when my deal was that he could wear regular clothes and then I would wear the dog costume for a couple hours. Well, what I did not realize that wearing the dog costume at the Jonesboro Doggone Days came with some responsibilities that I was not aware of, that I was not privy to until we got there.
Yeah.
One of them was I guess I had to, well, a lot of pictures.
Lots of
Lot of
pictures.
pictures.
The dog ended up judging the parade, or helping judge the
Helping
parade.
judge the parade, and
Yeah.
of course, being a costume, I was just a lot.
We were all so afraid he was going to fall up the stairs, down
Yeah.
the stairs. He ran into a tree a couple times. We had to guide him.
I had no guidance.
Really, with those costumes on, though, you cannot see the Rudolph one and the dog. I mean, oh my gosh, the dog, I can't. I'm claustrophobic, and
it's
I
like
can't
having
do it.
blinders on.
You can't see. I mean, it's straight ahead. You can't move at all. It's terrible.
Held a baby or two. Held several dogs. And then I led the animal parade.
That was fun.
And my first question was, where do I go?
Yeah, he was whispering, "Lead me. I don't know where to
Lead
go."
me. I have no idea where this parade is going to go.
Help me.
And
It was so funny.
And I think the guy at first, he said, "Oh, just go up there and take a left and take a left," not realizing that I'm
You
looking out of
couldn't
an eye
see.
hole.
Right, and I was focusing on making sure you didn't fall down, so I wasn't paying attention to what lefts he was referring to. So we hope we went the correct path. We'll never know. But
Yeah, it was a ton of fun.
It was great.
So going back to the pictures, we actually had a ton of pictures that were taken. I believe it was 149 pictures. That were taken with Santa. And there's also some outtake pictures. We had an amazing company that donated their time, and that's not it. Donated their time, and so these prints. So it's ISO Studio Photography and Media. It's a great startup company. Actually, one of the individuals works at our thrift store part-time, and him and his partner donated all the time, all the labor to get these pictures taken, edited, and uploaded. So if you were down there at Doggone Days and had your pictures taken with Santa, you should have received an email. If not, there's their email there on their business card. They're also able to do gift items. So if you want canvases or anything, or hard copies of prints, make sure you reach out to Paul and have them take care of those for you. They're also available for he called them quirky photo shoots.
Oh,
Maybe things that are outside of the box.
that's funny.
But they can do anything. They're amazing. They love the animals, which to me is the most important thing.
Oh, yeah.
And they could really use your help. So if you're looking for a good photographer, reach out to Paul on that email address. And again, tell him Cody sent you.
Cody
It's not gonna get you anywhere, but
no, just tell him.
But if you got a Cody referral, that'll make me feel good. But
Yeah, just tell him.
a big shout out to them and all the time and effort, because I know they were there literally
All day.
doing
Yeah.
pictures, and without them, we just would not have such a great, just great documentation
it was...
of. I was looking through some of the pictures. There's just so many funny pictures, and I'm thinking these would make great gift cards. I mean, not gift cards, great
like
holiday cards
greeting
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought that would be really cool. Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit. I'm very excited. So in my outside of work life, my family and I, we actually have 2 dogs, and I am just a tech nerd.
To say the least.
If I don't need it, if it's not necessary, I'll buy it. If it plugs up and lights up and everything else. So I bought my dog. Her birthday is actually December 11th, which is tomorrow. So I bought her an early birthday present, and it just a disclaimer. I mean, there's no, I didn't, I bought this with my own money. There was no donation for it. There was
Right.
no. I just
No
thought
sponsorship.
no sponsorship. But if someone that does want to sponsor it, please reach out. So I bought something called the Fi collar, Fi collar, and I thought this is like the smartwatch. This is the Apple Watch for dogs. And I'd been seeing this for such a long time. I thought, what a cool thing, but I'll tell you about the pros and cons here in a minute. So, it's a collar for dogs. They come in 3 different sizes: small, large, and extra large. I've got a pit terrier mix, and I've got a picture here in a second, but you can kind of see her. She's about 60 pounds. And so this is a large size collar. Tons of different colors. They've got different styles. They've got martingale style. They've got leather. They've got, in fact, you can even get a Louis Vuitton
Well, nice.
thigh collar. That was just a little bit out of the nonprofit my pay grade, but so that's what it looks like. It comes in a little box. When you get it, all I had to do was it was already charged. The battery they're quoting it lasts about 30 days between charges, and it takes just a couple hours to charge up. All I had to do was download an app, punch in my information, and it automatically synced itself with the collar. I had to put in my Wi-Fi username, everything. So what this sucker is, it's a fully independent GPS collar that doesn't rely off of Wi-Fi. So it uses the AT&T cell network. And the reason why I got this is, being a larger dog owner, I just, in my personal opinion, I think I have a responsibility to make sure that my dogs are safe and people are safe. And God forbid if one of my dogs ever gets out of its fence, and I've got a big backyard, and it's a very secure fence, but there's always that what if. There's been a couple what ifs when they push their way through the door or
Yeah.
whatever. I always feel like I have a responsibility to make sure that I know where my dogs are, and if they do ever get lost, that I know how to find them. And so this was my remedy for it. So it's a completely independent GPS collar. Doesn't rely off of Wi-Fi. It uses Wi-Fi at home, just so I'm not using a cell signal all the time. But if it ever extends beyond my home's Wi-Fi, then it automatically gets on the AT&T network, and I can find my dog literally anywhere where there's a cell signal. So that's what it looked like on her. It's it's adjustable. It fits very nicely. It's a very sleek collar. It's rated for 350 pounds as far as with the pull strength. It's got stainless steel clasps on it. It's very thick webbing. And there's only a little bit of plastic, and that's just to house the GPS part. The part that says FI is actually stainless steel. So it's a very hardy collar, but it's not so bulky that it gets in the way of the dog's movement. So one of the cool things that I love about is that at any given time, it shows me exactly where the dog is. It gives the battery. It just has their names just for personality. And then if you see that little blue area, so if the dog, I've got safe zones set up here at work and where I live and a couple other places where, I would take my dog. If she ever steps outside of that, then instantly I get a text alert, I get an email, and then my wife will get a text alert. So it will instantly alert people, along with a link that even if they're not part of this, even if they don't have the subscription, on the text, if they click on the link, it'll show them where the dog is at in real time.
It's pretty cool.
It also has a red blinking light, so if it's dark out, it'll show where the dog is. I mean, you could visually see where the dog.
Yeah.
And then just for, if she's out sputtering around at home or she's in the backyard, then it's got like 6 different colors that it will glow. It works great at night. In fact, I'm going to show you this video here. So this is a completely black screen.
Nice.
But if you see it, we have a fairly big backyard, but that's her in the back corner of the backyard there.
And you can
just
see it.
you
Yeah,
can
it
just
just
see it
glows.
from far away.
How funny.
But again, I may be overcompensating, but just for wanting to be a responsible dog owner, I just thought it was a good idea. It's got a couple things that I'm not quite sure about, like it tracks her steps.
But it's kind of interesting.
It is. I don't have a screenshot of that, but it tracks her exercise, and it does it by hours, so I can see exactly as far as time-wise when she gets up, when she moves around, how many steps she does. But one of the cool things is that I can see sleep patterns. So it will tell me how many times she goes into like a deeper sleep when she naps. It also shows interruptions too, and I guess on the FI website it was really about, is she getting a good night's sleep or is she being distracted? Again, I'm not I don't know if this is true information. I've never had my vet ask me, hey, how many times does your dog get up in the middle of the night?
How many hours of sleep does your dog get every night?
Never been a conversation.
But according to that, she gets more sleep than I do.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that. It's like, she got 8 hours and 49 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's just such, again, it's a very cool device. I got one for my son's dog. He's got a German Shepherd, and she's like 70 something pounds, and these are very well trained dogs. It's just, again, I'm trying to be a responsible pet owner, and if my dogs ever get out, I mean they've got a tag, they're all microchipped, and now they have a GPS collar that I can certainly find them on. So I've got a list of just pros and cons. Starting with the pros is if a dog ever gets out and you need to find them, it updates within 30 seconds of their location. Here, let me go back live my camera. So from that standpoint, if I need to know, and of course it's with GPS, it has the map in the background, it has a satellite view, it also has just a standard map view. I can pinpoint within 25 feet where my dog
really
is
nice.
at any given time.
Yeah.
If it's dark out, I can turn on the flashlight just for it walking. If it gets lost, it automatically switches to lost mode, and it will alert everybody that I have required to be notified, and we can all search for the dog.
Yeah.
It's lightweight. A lot of the other GPS collars that I looked at were very bulky. Would be the equivalent of me wearing a mouse on the side of my head, just a big,
right.
bulky thing.
A big obnoxious mouse.
And be like, oh.
Yeah.
So this is streamlined. It's heavy duty. I think it's waterproof. I'm not 100% sure. But my dogs, they play rough with each other, and they like to pull on each other's collars, and it's holding up very nicely.
Yeah.
And I've not had any issues. The biggest, I guess, con with it is that it's just expensive. The retail price for the collar is $149, and then the subscription is $100 a year. So,
but really, it's worth it considering if your animal goes missing, and what you would spend to put out posters and flyers and social media posts, and if you use Paw Boost to try and find them and everything. I think it kind of pays for itself.
And I think just more, for me, it's just peace of mind. It's just knowing that, if my dog gets loose. I know if my son's dog ever got lost, I mean, he would be devastated.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It just, children have such a bond with animals. I mean, even more so than I think adults do, and I just would never. I mean, it's just about him. But so that was our first review. I definitely, if we one paw up,
10 out of 10.
I love it. Again, it's not right for everybody,
No.
but for me and my household, it's right for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think just a couple other things here, and then we'll wrap it up. A very successful Paw Talk today. We are doing an event. Let me see if I put it on here. Maybe I didn't do it on here. We're doing an event next Tuesday at the Book Lovers Warehouse.
Yes, and we are very excited. It's the first event that we have really ever done with them. We, of course, did the Johnson City Library back in the summer, so that was book related. But with Book Lovers, this is going to be brand new, and they've got a really neat little store. I don't think I'd ever been in there, but it's such a good layout. I mean, we're going to have puppies. We're going to take some cats and kittens. And we'll have a few, it'll be really fun. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to be there from 12 to 4 is our plan. So we'll get over there a little earlier and set up, and I think we're going to have a good time. I know they're planning to do a special. They said pet care books, any nonfiction, animal related, and nature books in general are going to be half off during the event.
And the last thing is we're going to be out tomorrow evening for the Jonesboro Parade.
Yes.
So we're going to have a huge following, literally, bunch of dogs following
Yeah, we
us.
will. There's going to be dogs galore.
Dogs everywhere.
Yeah, we're so excited. I am genuinely excited. I know I say that, but I cannot wait to see how this goes. We are forecasted for some rain, unfortunately. I think it's 100% chance, but we're just going to wear our ponchos and make the best of it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that said, I hope everybody has a good rest of the week, and thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We just want to continue growing the Paw Talk. The Paw Talk.
Yes.
And, again, thank you so much for your support, and we will catch you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.